Hi, my name is Jay, and for today's video I'm going to share all the things that I love, the things I watched, the things I did in January. This video is pretty late, but I still wanted to share it because I'm trying something new. Instead of like a monthly favorites video, I wanted to share like a summary of the month. So I wanted to share the things that I loved, the things that I watched, movies, TV shows, things that I listened to, the stuff that I read, all of that, because I feel like it seems a lot more fun and different than the favorites video. So let's get on into it. Starting with soap. I'm pretty much almost done with this. This is from Lush. This is the Whoosh Shower Jelly. I have never tried these before. One of my friends gifted it to me during Christmas. It smells so good. Oh my gosh. I've seen these in the stores, but I've never tried them, and I never bought them because I felt like I didn't really want to spend my money on it. And now that I've tried it, I feel like it's one of those things that I will spend if I'm just like, yeah, let's just have fun this month and try it out. It smells so good, and it has this like weird like jello kind of consistency, but it lathers up so well. I don't know how they do it, but it's so much fun. I have a couple of new YouTube channels that I have been watching, starting with booktube stuff. She's called Read with Cindy. I watched one of her like young adult tropes video or something like that, and then I just subscribed because I thought she was so hilarious, and I've been watching her videos and it's a really good time. I haven't really watched other booktubers. I haven't really like explored and found different ones, so it's been exciting finding a new channel to watch. Other channels I've been watching, Haley Blaze. She is a singer, songwriter, and her videos are just so weird and quirky and fun. Another person I've been watching is Nicole Rafi. For some reason, the Emma Chamberlain coffee video popped up in my recommendations, and then I just started watching her other videos, and she seems like a fun, like, it's a personality, lifestyle sort of channel, so it's just a bunch of different things showing her life, and it's pretty fun. If you are into sketch comedy, Characters Welcome UCB, I think it's called, there are so many, like, fun sketches to watch. That showed up in my recommendation for so long in January. Like, it just kept popping up a bunch of different videos. I would click on them. So on days where I didn't have my SNL fix, at least I had the Characters Welcome UCB to kind of get me through my day. Okay, if it looks slightly different, it's because my camera died. Oops. As far as YouTube videos to watch, I randomly saw this pop up in my recommended. It is I believe a New York Times video on their channel about Kim Hill, who I had never heard of, but she was originally in the Black Eyed Peas. By the time the Black Eyed Peas was like in my radar as a kid, it was just Fergie and the Black Eyed Peas that I knew. When I found out that there was another female singer in the group, I was like, whoa, what is this? So it was like it's a 13-minute video, and I wasn't intending to watch the whole thing, but she is so charismatic and so just magnetic the way that she told her story that I ended up watching the whole video, and it really is inspiring, and she seems like such a wonderful and sweet person. Like, there's no bitterness or ill will towards Fergie and kind of the success that they've had as a group. So I highly suggest watching that video if you want to feel inspired. I was so happy that I finally got to watch The Act. The Act is on Hulu, and it is inspired by a real story about this girl named Gypsy Rose, who growing up, her mom made her believe that she had all of these illnesses, and she feels so trapped by this life that her mom had put her through that she ends up killing her mom. And it's this really fascinating and very disturbing story, and when I first read about it, like the actual news story, I was like, this is just so unbelievable. It's really disturbing. It's a very like hard thing to watch, so I feel like that's a little part of the reason why that it took me so long to watch it. It is very well acted. I highly suggest you watch it. It's a couple episodes, not too bad. Okay, so the first book I read this January 2 months ago, was The Beginning of Everything by Robin Schneider. I bought this book a long time ago when I was in Portland with my friends. I had heard so many good things about it, but I only picked it up right now. This is like quintessential young adult contemporary read. It is so good. So it is about Ezra, who is like the super popular guy, homecoming king, sports guy, all of that. And then his girlfriend ends up cheating on him. He gets into a car accident and he can't play sports anymore, and it's kind of just about his life adjusting. And then there's this new girl that comes into the picture, and then the story goes from there. Again, it's very like quintessential YA kind of trope, but the storytelling, the writing is so fantastic, and the characters don't feel like, you don't feel forced or like someone pretending to be into the minds of like teenagers. It's very good. I highly suggest this book. The next book I read was The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. This is a self-help book. I had heard, again, so many good things about this book, and it was very short, and I wanted to start off my January with some sort of self-help book, as I've done the last couple of years. And I was so excited to read it because someone had told me, they were like, oh my god, this changed my life, it's so fantastic. I did not enjoy this book. I'm really glad it's only like 100 or so pages, I believe. 138. It's only 138 pages because, oh my gosh, it took me, I had to like put it down every couple of pages because it's just, I'm sure it'll help other people. It's just not my kind of style. It just felt very cold and distant, and that's not the kind of vibe that I want to get when I'm reading a self-help book. I want to feel like someone is genuinely trying to help you, like, I'm your friend, let's kind of figure this out, let me share some like stories and stuff and kind of go through what's going on with you and why this is happening, things like that. But it just felt like this is this, and this, and this. And this is what you should be doing and feeling, and this. It felt very distant. So, it's just, I'm sure other people, a lot of people have liked it, but I was just not a fan. But what I am a fan of is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. Now, I bought this book around the time when it started taking off on BookTube, when everyone was talking about it, and then I never got to read it. It was just sitting in my TBR pile, and then last year when I took my trip to the Philippines, the movie was playing on the airplane ride, so I was like, let's watch it and have a good old time. And I had such a great time. Amanda Sternberg was fantastic in it, and the whole story and the way that the movie was done was so beautiful and inspiring and very, very powerful. If you haven't watched the movie, go and watch it right now. It's fantastic. But I had really I fully intended to read the book first, as I always try to before I watch the movie. But the movie was on, it was free. Let's just watch it. But of course, I'm still gonna read the book. And I love it so much. Angie Thomas's writing it just draws you in. I didn't want to put it down. Talk about like real talk with teenagers, and it feels very real and raw and just, oh my gosh, what? If you need to read a book, The Hate You Give. Fantastic stuff. The first thing I did in January was I watched Frozen the musical at the Pantages. I ended up getting the tickets during like the Black Friday Pantages sale package thing, and my expectations were very, very low. I like Frozen, but I'm not the biggest fan. The music's fun, but the whole storyline, and when I first watched it, I was just like, this is okay. It's fine. It's not like, whoa, this is amazing, like Tangled, but it's just fine. So I didn't have like high expectations for Frozen the musical, and when I had been watching clips of it and when I watched like live performances that were televised, I was not very impressed. But when I finally got to watch it, oh my gosh, I was blown away. The production is amazing. The Let It Go sequence is just beautiful, and I would actually like go back and watch it just for that sequence. It's fantastic, but the whole way that the story was told was wonderful. I didn't really like the other music in the musical. There were really none that kind of stood out to me. I liked the ones that were from the movie, but the additions were just kind of meh and bland. I know a lot of people like Monster, but I was just like, this is not a fan of it. But the production is just fantastic. I would totally watch it again if it comes by again to my city, so it's great. So many Disney days in January. Frankly, this year, usually like the beginning of the year is very like quiet and there's not a lot of people around because a lot of things are in refurbishment. It's post-holidays, so not a lot of people are in the parks. But this year, because Rise of the Resistance opened up, every day has pretty much been kind of packed in comparison to previous years, but it's still a good time, especially if you just hang around DCA. I am trying to enjoy the last times that DCA will be fairly quiet before Avengers Campus opens this summer, because I know once that opens, I will have no escape from the crowds. Usually if Disneyland is really crowded, I'll be like, oh my god, I gotta go to DCA, I'm out. But I know that will not happen anymore, so I'm just kind of enjoying it. I had 2 Disney days in a row. I spent one with my cousin, and then another one I spent with my friends. It was just a good time. And then at the end of the month, I spent a solo Disney trip by myself. Hence why I called it Solo Disney Trip. I've only pretty much spent 1 day at Disneyland by myself, and I feel like my goal this year is to spend more solo trips in Disneyland because it was actually pretty fun. I spent like an hour writing at the Starbucks Fiddler Cafe place at DCA, and then I like walked around the park and I journaled and I wrote and just kind of people watched, and it was fantastic. I wrote a write here and there. I think I wrote 2. But it was just fun. It was an interesting time by myself. It seems kind of weird and scary when you're kind of spending time at an amusement park by yourself, especially when there's like groups of people around you and it's supposed to be like a group or like you're supposed to go with someone kind of thing. It's an amusement park, but you know, when you have a Disney pass, you're just like, I want to spend some time by myself and just kind of walk around and do nothing by myself. So that is my summary of January. I am really trying to do more things this year. I want to travel more. So let's see what happens. Let's see what this new year, this new decade has in store. In the comment section down below, let me know what you did in January, what you loved, what you read, what you watched, and yeah. Alright, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time with a brand new video. Goodbye!